what product should they be using? They've used the supplements to build their health and immune functioning, and the soaps and the diet, and they've gotten their lives back and they're normal again. What things should they continue to be using? And that's a very good question. And we are, in my opinion, the only program in the entire world that can address that, because we have so much success. We have so much success that right now I have a fantastic appeal. I have an urgent appeal. We're looking for more coaches. Our coaches coach for free, and yet they get paid. So if you have if you've gotten to the point that you've made the diet work, and you know there's a relationship, a very strong relationship between what you eat and the symptoms, and know how to disinfect your environment, because, let me do the FDA thing, right? Because it all kind of blends in. The FDA requires me to inform you that before you start the diet or accept any of our recommendations, that you thoroughly discuss them with your medical doctor to make sure they do not interfere with any health problems you're presently experiencing. The AMA requires me to inform you that we are not medical doctors. We do not diagnose, treat, cure, mitigate, or prevent disease. And so, therefore, we can only educate, and that's what we do. We educate you how to use this amazing diet to, like, overnight, get rid of the symptoms if you make the diet work, and it can work that fast. For those who are a little slower, like Robin, it might take 3 months. Sharon took about 3 or 4 months too, but hey, it worked. Whether it's a hell of a lot faster than the 20 years you've been suffering, or the 15 years you've been suffering. So it's really worth it. Yeah, you can go to all the doctors. We had Lucy from Morgellons group, Facebook group. She had been to 100 physicians. 100 physicians. I have another doctor going to Cleveland Clinic thinking that there's got to be a better answer than the diet, There's got to be something else out there. There ain't. Not at this point. There ain't. That's improper English, isn't it? There isn't. Okay. Now, so when people get their lives back, what do you do? We don't. You're still going to get my emails, and they're good reminders. But what are you going to do in terms of which product should be using? Well, first of all, we have many phenomenal products. Okay, let me clarify one thing. Those who are members of this organization and utilizing the diet and our resources, the books, and everything, the YouTube videos, this is all free. There is no obligation for anybody to purchase anything from my store, which happens to be, in my opinion, the best store in the world in terms of having many products that are going to help build your health and immune functioning. So, like I said, we can educate you how to utilize the diet. We can educate you how to clean your environment, disinfect it. We can educate you how to clean your skin. And we can educate you how to build health and immune functioning through our various supplements that we have in the store and products. So once you get your life back, I hope that one thing that you will always continue using and never stop, and if you haven't been using it, I hope you start using it tomorrow, and that is our toothpaste. Our toothpaste doesn't come in a tube. I learned about fluoride many years ago, and I went to the local health food store to see if I could find a toothpaste without fluoride. And yeah, they had several on the shelves. So I bought one. I brought it home. That damn toothpaste was so hard I couldn't even get it out of the tube. It had sat on that shelf and dried out because nobody thinks about how dangerous Colgate, Crest, and Ipana and all these toothpaste are. In fact, if you read the darn labels, it says if you're under 6 years of age, you shouldn't even be using these toothpaste. They've got SLS, sodium lauryl sulfate in them. They've got other chemicals. Well, I know you don't swallow it, but they got glycerin, and that is not on the diet. And you do get that in your system. It's in your saliva. You're going to get it in your system. So get rid of toothpaste and use ours. And instead of a tube, it comes in this little jar, and you just dip your brush in it. You can dip now it's got nature's gift in it, so it's not going to get contaminated. It's got peppermint, it's got clove oil, eggshell, phenomenal toothpaste. I call it the Sweetwater toothpaste because after you brush your teeth, you're going to have an insatiable desire to drink water. And if you want to put in diatomaceous earth in that water and baking soda, it's going to taste wonderful, as opposed to just taking it without having first brushed your teeth. So I hope you use that forever. Now we have also in the store laundry soap, biodegradable and made all from bio resources. There's no chemicals in it. So, and we have something that a lot of people take advantage of is we have the degreaser, multi-purpose degreaser. And in fact, Robin said, if any of you are interested in extra stream of income, if you have contacts in industry, like in the nursing homes and hospitals, and you can talk to people, you can have a partnership with us in representing these products in industry as well. The biodegradable degreaser is marine quality. I mean, you can use it on your boat and discharge into the ocean or the river, and there's no problem. Not like other chemicals that you use. It's not going to be hazardous. Years ago, there was a story about, I forget, some chicken, one of these chicken outfits that sell chickens. A guy died because he mixed chemicals together to clean the floor. That doesn't happen with products. They're totally compatible. So after even now and after you finish the program, I hope you continue using those products. The laundry soap, very fantastic. It cleans like nothing before. We've gotten high reviews. It's a top seller. Now, as far as supplements go, well, our main supplement is our multiple vitamin. It is the only multiple vitamin mineral that is available in the United States that is compatible with the King diet. It's high quality. We've gotten many, many reviews of how people love it, So if you want to maintain health, the idea is you continue doing what you did to get healthy and keep using multiple, because you don't get enough vitamins and minerals in the foods that you eat. You simply don't. Now, the next thing that is real is glutathione. Boosting glutathione either with our Max 1 product or our Y-age glutathione, which are little things like this. See, this is the advantage to this product is that glutathione is very beneficial for people who have arthritis or have arthritic tendencies. And at my age, basically, I'm 78, and essentially I imagine, well, my chiropractor claims I'm loaded with arthritis, but I don't have a lot of arthritic pains. And when I have a little ache, I put it right where the ache is, and this where it happens to be today. And tomorrow it may be someplace else, or it may not. I don't know. Or I'll put it on my breastbone then. So the idea is to boost the glutathione continually, because your body doesn't make enough of it to deal with the chemicals and the pollution that we're exposed to every day. Along the same route, hydration packs. These are little packs of coral calcium that you drop in your water, and they provide you 72 minerals in the quantities that your body desires them or needs them. So it's a little sachet like this, and you drop it in your water, and every day you add in another sachet, good quality water. It could be reverse osmosis water or distilled water, and take them every day. They decrease the clumping ability of your blood, the Rayleigh effect. So your blood's going to be healthier, and you're going to be healthier. And then, of course, our Garcillin. I just finished posting 4 updates about the dangers of prescription antibiotics taken long term. And the answer, we do need antibiotics. We're constantly exposed to viruses and bacteria. So we do need antibiotics. And the best, in my opinion, is this right here, Garcillin. It's allicin. 300 milligrams of allicin. Not 300 grams, as you might find in some formulations. Some people say, oh, I found it a lot cheaper than what you sell it for. I found it for like $20. And I said, well, show me the label. So they showed me a label, and it says 300, but it says 300 micrograms. That's a tenth, 1/10 of the strength that our Garcillin has. So antiviral, antifungal, antibacterial, anti-protozoan, and it's a phenomenal product. And I attribute it to getting Lyme disease that I almost died from under total control. In fact, this is the Pack of Life. And the Pack of Life I recommend for anybody who is dealing with Lyme disease. Now, I don't recommend people run out. Symptoms of Lyme disease are many. Mine was extreme pain in the joints, particularly the knees, and tremendous inflammation. I had inability to write my name, no motor control at all, 24/7 pain and agony. And 24/7. I'm not. You learn to live with pain, and it's not fun. And I attribute it to boosting glutathione. I got 90% back, rid of my symptoms, and the other 9.99% by adding the Garcillin to get my life back to normal. So if anybody is thinking that you might have Lyme disease, I don't say that there are different ways of dealing with Lyme disease, and no matter what way you choose, before you go, because if you set an appointment today with LLMD, a Lyme literate medical doctor, it's going to take about a month to get there, and the cost is going to be about $450 out of pocket. So you may as well start with the pack. You need to build health and nutrition anyway. So by the time your appointment rolls around, you might be. How's my sound? Am I still on? Okay. Yeah. You might be 80, 90% better by the time you get there. And by the time you get your next appointment, which may be a week later, you might not need any treatment, or minimal, if any at all. Now, another amazing product, we talked about the toothpaste, is the mouthwash. We have the best mouthwash in the world. In fact, we have a Dr. Jonathan's Dental Spa in Hawthorne, New Jersey, who we private label it for. He buys 100 bottles at a time and gives to his patients, because our mouthwash has no alcohol in it, so it doesn't dehydrate, and it doesn't stain teeth like some of these prescription mouthwashes. He complains that they can stain your teeth and destroy the dendrites that contribute to healing after dental surgery. Our mouthwash does none of that. It heals and promotes healthy gums and teeth. So that's another product that I'd like you to continue using for the rest of your life, along with our toothpaste and our basic supplement pack. Now, of course, having dealt with Morgellons and collembola, and you know about the diet, and as you get your life back, you're going to be moving into phase 3 of the diet. So phase 3 is so wonderful because you can eat anything that you want, and you can also make similar mistakes that I've made over the years. Mistakes that I've made, for instance, in summertime, I love watermelon, and for a period, you know, my wife brings home watermelon, and so like for 7 days straight, I had a piece of watermelon, and after about it seems to be 7 days, boom, the symptoms of collembola start returning. You know, okay, so then a year later, we go to strawberries. Oh, I like strawberries. So after about 7 days straight, you know, I don't know why, just boom, again, the symptoms start coming back. Well, and then this year it was peaches. I love peaches too. Peaches and vanilla ice cream. Wow, that's great dessert. And after about 7 days, boom. Well, it's really fantastic having this around. You never want to run out of the herbal parasite stop formula, because when you make these kind of silly mistakes, testing your limits, and you will, it's normal. You just test our limits. It's really great to have this around, to take 1 or 2 capsules and put things back in order. You may not have to go back on stage 1 of the diet. You may just need to take 2 of these and stop eating the watermelon and stop whatever it is that you were consuming that was contributing to the relapse, and continue 3. So those are the things that I recommend that you keep using for the rest of your life, not just to get your life back from Morgellons. Sherry, are you on? Sherry, do a *6 and join us. This is Sherry's idea. She lives out in Nebraska and sometimes can't get on the call. So, Robin, you've been free. What are you using? You've been free of basically. You're on stage 3. What products are you using?
I still use all the products. I will never stop taking the supplements. They're awesome, and I use some of the skin products. I keep Nature's Gift on hand. I make sprays. I put it in my shampoo. I can't imagine just stopping all the products.
Yeah, I'm glad you reminded me. Okay, we talked about the Parasite Herbal Stop. We talked about the mouthwash. You know, the mouthwash you can also use as a body wipe. And if you have any minor excursions of parasitic activity, you can always use that. But it's always good to have some skin lotion handy, just in case. And if you like to move on into keeping your skin young and beautiful, as many women like to do, well, then you definitely want to be using our Beauty Forever skincare products. The skin lotion, not the skin, the exfoliant cream is phenomenal. The the other product, the skin regenerator. No, it's not a skin. What is it called? But the Beauty Forever creams are great to use. We have cucumber eye cream that you can also use, and keep your skin young, because your skin is the largest organ of your body and the first that's really exposed to the environment and all of the stresses out there. Sharon, which products do you use? You're on mute. I don't see what you're on. Okay. All right. Well, that concludes this portion of the program. Welcome back, everybody. This is Richard Kuhns, author of How to Get Your Life Back from Morgellons, Chronic Lyme, and Other Skin Parasites, welcoming you to our Q&A section of the program. So, Chris, we have some people that have some questions.
Yeah, Richard. Brenda, 1945.
Hi, Brenda. How are you today?
Oh, okay. How do you know if the activity that you're feeling is from something you shouldn't have eaten or bugs leaving your body because there's something that you're taking that's good?
Well, the activity, do you feel the itching and biting? Is that part of it?
Just the movement. I recently started glutathione, and I'm getting a little bit of biting, which was surprised me. I thought maybe that wouldn't even be a problem, but because it wasn't a problem before. But it's just a couple of days.
Are you 100% sure that you haven't made a mistake in the diet? Are you on stage 1?
Yes, stage 1. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So tell me what you're eating. Well, have you made a list of everything? Have you kept a list of things that you're eating?
Mm-hmm. I had a hamburger, tomato, eggs.
Did you have anything with the hamburger?
No, I eat it plain or tomato. A nice tomato.
But no mustard or ketchup or anything like that. No condiments. Okay. All right.
And I've had cauliflower, chicken. I had some rye crisps.
What is in the rye crisp?
Oh, I got to go get it. Sorry. I'm out on my front porch.
So you basically started putting on there that it has some kind of seed richness or something. Is the one you used to could eat, and I can't do it anymore.
Can you say that again?
Carol Ann?
The new one, yes. If she's talking about the rye crisp that we could have, it used to have just that and the 2 ingredients, and we could have. And now on the package, it says it has could have, it's some kind of seed, like a sesame seed or something. And when I ate them, I immediately felt itching and biting. I can't do them anymore because they put that in there.
Yeah, you have to check those ingredients. You know.
Yeah.
Even if it's something that the book says is on the diet, they change ingredients all the time. You constantly have to read labels. So it could be a food that you think is an approved food, and it used to be, and they changed something about it. But I have found that 9 times out of 10, it's always eating something wrong. Not necessarily intentionally, but yeah.
All right. Yep. That's sesame. So when you have, does that mean that you've had something wrong?
Generally, yes.
Okay. All right. So no activities is the best thing you need.
No activity is the best thing that you need.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Who's next, Chris?
Marlena, 0424.
Marlena? Hi.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. The question I have, and I have to be straight honest, I have not been faithful on the diet because I just haven't. And I still crave my sugar, and I know the candida is eating me up inside. But I've been through a lot of stresses, right? A lot of stuff. So that's my crutch, my go-to. And I know it's really harmful to me. But the question I want to ask is, so once you're on the day 1, program 1 of the diet, how long do you have to? Is it 1 week of consistency that then you can move to 2, or how do you know?
Well, you're lucky that it only took me a few hours. Otherwise, I probably would have given it up and never even thought about the diet. Now, many others, like I mentioned earlier, Robin, took longer. Robin, you want to share your experience?
Yeah, well, I want to answer the question. Everyone is different, and you can't say there's no time frame to stay on stage 1 of the diet, but when you have no itching, biting, or movement, then you can very slowly, keyword here is slowly, add stage 2 foods one at a time. So, for example, if you've been on the diet and you've had a week with no activity that you sense, then maybe you would add a half a banana and wait 3 days. And if that has no activity, then maybe you'd add a whole banana and wait another 3 days. And then if there's still no activity, maybe you would add a half of a green apple or a handful of walnuts. But you do it super slow. It's not like, okay, I'm done with stage 1, I'm going to jump in and eat all the stage 2 foods. It does not work that way because everyone is different and you may still be sensitive to different things. So if there's no activity, you can make a list of the stage 2 foods that you want the most, add them one at a time with space in between. That's the only way I know of getting the diet to actually work.
Yes. Now, let me add one more thing. If you start the diet today, and last night you were out and you had a steak marinated in oil, don't expect the diet to even start for another week. Because It's going to take a week to work that oil out of your body. Or say you had tuna fish in oil, a can of tuna fish in oil, same difference. It's going to take a week to get that out of your body before you're going to be able to even start making the diet work. And again, to help speed the process along, Robin, exactly right. You add a half a banana, wait a couple of days, add another half a banana. You may be able to speed it a little along if you're using the Herbal Stop formula to help speed it a little along. But that's the safe way of doing it, gradually. And consider this, every step you're taking, you're one step closer to getting rid of these organisms from your body forever after all these years, okay?
Well, listen. Okay, so with that in mind, because there's some things on the diet that I can't, the first week, I cannot, I keep saying the first week, the first program, the first stage. I'm on the West Coast, so there's some products that you have listed that I can't find here. But what if I keep eating the same things for those 7 days that week? Is okay. Like, for instance, if it's a hamburger is good, I could eat a hamburger for 7 days, right?
Yeah, you could eat hamburger for 7 days, no bread, just hamburger.
If there are things on the diet that you can't find, you can always find them online.
Okay. Well, the other thing is that I feel like I'm working with the collembola, the Morgellons, and the Candida, and so I have a combination of things because I feel things still around my ankles, and I feel them.
That doesn't matter with the diet. The diet is the diet. It's going to address all of those things if you stick to it and get it to work.
Okay.
Now, the next step. The next step. Well, excuse me. The next step for you would be to complete the questionnaire, because when you complete, you did. All right, then
I'm a classic, Richard.
What's that?
I'm a classic on there.
Okay. So if you also have gut issues, that showed up on the questionnaire, and then you want to be aggressive there using our agro-relief enzymes to help digestion. Then you also want to be using our digestive aid, which has ginger in it, to aid digestion. And you would want to be using our calcium Dayclex formula, which is going to help repopulate the microbes in your gut. And if you've had candida and the possibility of leaky gut, and most of us have, you're going to also want to be using our Herbal Gut Restore to make sure that you repopulate all the microbes and also repair the leaky gut. And then you're going to also be wanting to use the lufeneron, which is going to, because if you've had leaky gut, and most of us have at one point or another in our lives, that means the candida has gotten loose into the rest of your body, into all of the organs, where it gets transposed into a hydra-type form of fungus, and that's where the lufeneron addresses that type of fungus. And then, 100% of us basically are dealing with worms of some sort, and they either get into our bones and our skin and our joints through the leaky gut, or even if you go into a public bathroom and you touch a doorknob and somebody else had touched that doorknob and hadn't washed their hands, you could pick up worms, the eggs that way, and you don't even have to have leaky gut to get the worms into your body that way. So that's where you'd want to be using the combination of ivermectin followed up by fenbendazole. And that's all in the, I don't know how long ago you did the questionnaire, but as time goes on, the protocol gets slightly adjusted. It used to be, I only recommended doing fenben, but in the last several months, I've listened to more information and find it's good to start with 2 doses of ivermectin, 12 milligrams twice, 2 12 milligram capsules once a week, and then switch to fenben.
Richard, that ivermectin is bad on my kidneys. I can't
What?
use it.
Yeah,
Well,
it can damage your kidneys and liver.
yeah, well, then you just use the fenben. That's worked for us for many years. Just use the fenben then. Okay?
Okay. Well, one last question. Now, I got into my car the other day, and I was driving, and it creeped me out because I felt something on my face. And it was this little bitty critter, okay? And then I looked down on my pant leg, and it was on my pant leg, and I'm thinking, did this come out of my skin or out of my car?
Well, no matter where it came from, it doesn't matter. When you're disinfecting, before you get in your automobile, you should be disinfecting your automobile. If you're using ammonia, you should spray the ammonia 20 minutes before you're going to use the vehicle to give it an opportunity for the fumes to evaporate, so you won't be breathing the ammonia when you get in. So you would spray the seats, you spray underneath the console, you spray the console, you spray between the console, you spray the ceiling, you spray the side. I mean, you do the whole thing. And you should take your car to the mechanic and have them change the cabin filter. The cabin filter is a filter that is generally around behind the glove box. It varies from car to car. And all the air that circulates in your car, in your cabin, goes through that filter, and that's where many times the collembola can get caught and continue reinfecting you long after. I mean, even though you've sprayed the rest of your car, the collembola can still be coming out your air vents and negate any disinfecting. On the other hand, you can use the clean 'em up zymes and do the same thing with the clean 'em up zymes. Spray everything before you get in. You don't have to wait the 20 minutes. And then after you get out of the car, also spray.
Well, I know ammonia. I think mine are immune to ammonia because I use it almost religiously, and they just don't seem like it affects them at all.
If it's in the car, it may be the cabin filter, because anything. I've had many people throw away their cars because they couldn't get them out, and they didn't know to change the cabin filter.
Okay, I'll do that. Appreciate that. Thank you, Richard.
You're welcome. Who's next, Chris? Anyone else, Chris?
Yeah, Shannon, 7704.
Hi, Shannon.
Hi.
How are you today?
Hello. I'm doing okay. I'm hanging in there. Better than before. But I have to relate to that last conversation you had with the cabin filter. Well, I talked to you, the group, a couple weeks ago, and I mentioned that I'd gone to the mechanic and told him to check my cabin filter. And, it's fine and whatever. And then a couple weeks ago, you said, they can't see it. Check it anyway. And, yes, I did. I found somebody to take it out, and it was the car's 9 years old. It was the most filthy filter I've ever seen in my entire life, with all kinds of things we can relate to. That's a big deal. And I feel like my air in my car is so much better now. I mean, I couldn't believe it. I mean, don't believe every mechanic, because I know for my particular car, it's very hard to get to the cabin filter. So they probably don't want to do it anyway. So they say, it's fine. But anyway, just got to mention that. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Okay, that's about it.
Yeah, thank you. It's amazing how many people have told me they've had to jump their cars. And, of course, at that time, I didn't know about the cabin filter. And a few years ago, one of our people who was a coach for a period of time, her name was Elle, shared that there's a cabin filter, and it was instrumental in her getting rid of the organisms out of her car. And since then,
I feel so good about this. Yeah, that's a huge one, I would say. Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
So anybody.
I was like one of those people that was about ready to toss the car, but I'm going to work on it, you know?
Yeah. So anybody who drives your automobile and you've got these organisms, you want to get that cabin filter changed and stop swimming uphill. You're not going to get anywhere in your automobile long term unless you get that cabin filter changed. And then after 3 or 4 months, you may want to get it changed again because there's a process. Unless you magically get rid of the organisms immediately after you change your cabin filter, it may get contaminated again. So it's something you just don't want to necessarily do once and think, oh, okay, I'm done now. You want to do it, a couple of months later, just for insurance. Who's next, Chris? Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here to support you.
We are done, Richard.
That's it. Okay, we have a short day.
Chime in.
Hello.
Hi. I'm sorry.
Hi.
I said I didn't have a question, but I have a comment. And I'm Tracy. I'm from Ohio. I've been on here maybe 4 times, but I have been dealing with this since 2018. We ended up losing absolutely every single thing we ever owned, had to completely restart. But Richard, there's no words to tell you how much that you and your entire crew does to someone's life by turning it around. And I'm hoping I can get through this without crying, but I'm already crying. So I know I have been with Sherry and Robin and you back and forth. Chris, I've ordered a few things with. But I got to tell you, we had been just doing ivermectin from 2018 until I found your book. I didn't know anything. I mean, we've done cedar side and we sprayed cars and we lost cars and we have treated everything, thousands, actually many thousands of dollars we went through. But I got to tell you, we did order the debriding soap, and thank God Robin and Sherry both, they've give, different ideas. We took both ideas, kind of did everything, but we did the debriding, and I got to tell you, 3 times, and I didn't think I was really going to see anything, and we did. And I know it freaked me out, and I want to tell everybody who's there, don't be afraid, because I was scared. I was like, oh my gosh, are they going to crawl back up inside me, or are they going to do? I was scared. And I got to tell you, do not be afraid. Jump in that tub and spend your time in there, because it was such a confirmation of what, and we had mites, and they came out. And I was like, oh, praise you, Jesus, because you want them out. And I got to tell you, the next day, what a different feeling in your body that you get. And I praise God because God led me to you, Richard. God has literally directed my path every single moment of my life. And man, we used the lotions that everybody told us about. We ordered the lotion you had. I think I did everything. But we did the diet. The diet only took me like 7-8 days to get it to work. Thank God. Again, it was all God. It's not me and you. But I am so thankful for what, and I hate that you had to go through it, but I'm so thankful that you have dedicated your life to help people get their life back. And there's no words that I can tell you how sincere grateful that I really am. And Sherry, Robin, if you guys are on there, you guys have been great. I feel like I just bug people, but man, when you have been dealing with something for so many years and you thought you were alone, and then you find people, and these people are doing and realizing what's going on with you, I just had to come on and say thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I'm scared to go to the next level, but I did have a little bit of ice cream just because ice cream's my favorite. So, and I had nothing. So I'm waiting for another 3 days or maybe even a week. But I am just so thankful that you guys are there to answer questions and there to be there for people. And Richard, I pray that God blesses you every single day for what you have done to so many people.
Well, I mean, I'm choked up. I don't know what to say.
There's no words. And only people who have went through it could even imagine going through what you went through. And then for you to take your time and your efforts, you could be doing a million things. And God put you in this place to help people, because I remember sitting on a railroad track and praying that train just destroyed my truck into 7 million pieces with me in it, because I thought I had no more life. And we are very, very highly active in our church. We were very Christians. My husband and I both did couples ministry. My husband sat on a board. And when this hit us, I couldn't believe. But I just kept praying. And, of course, hitting my knees to that floor and praising God and saying, you didn't make me so that I had to go through this alone. And lo and behold, that book came up. And, Richard, there's no words. But thank you so much for what you do.
Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. How did you find the book? How did you find me?
I'm going to tell you, I prayed. I was really, really, really bad. And I got to my knees. And I said, Lord, if you don't help me, I'm done. I can't do this no more. My family's going to lose their mom and their wife. I couldn't do it. And honestly, I pulled up a Facebook thing, which, you start searching for anything and everything. And actually, there was somebody on there praising you and your book. And I said, God, this is what I'm doing. I'm ordering this book, and this book is going to heal me. And when your book came and I read that introduction, I literally hit to my knees again. And I'm like, oh, thank you, Jesus, because without him, without your book, I wouldn't be here, Richard. I wouldn't be here at all, because I couldn't take no more. And I am so thankful for you. Every day I pray that God blesses you, and I pray that God blesses Sherry and Robin and your whole staff. I just don't know everybody. But I just had to come on and tell you I feel so different. And when I watch those things come out of my skin, honestly, I was in the tub going, burn in hell. And I did. I was like, oh, you need to go back where you came from, and that's the depths of hell. And anybody who's listening out there that is suicidal or that just don't know where they're going, I'm telling you to hit your knees and do that diet. Do exactly what his book says and use the resources, because if you don't use those resources, you're not going to get well. And I'm so thankful that you created a diet. That's hard. It is horrible, I got to tell you. I mean, when you're used to eating out, because I am so busy. My husband and I both work so many hours. And, man, to change your life, in fact, I'm in here cooking as we're doing this, and that's why I wasn't going to say anything, because I had so much. But I just have to just shout to the heavens. I thank God that he had me found you. But, Richard, all of your entire staff, from the bottom of my heart, thank you.
May I ask you, was your husband affected by the organisms as well, or were you the only one?
Yes. No, it was my husband and I both.
Both of you.
Yes, and we bought a house that we thought was our retirement home forever, and it had been infested with either rodent mites or bird mites. I'm thinking bird because it was when I cleaned both fireplaces. It was on a beautiful street, and it was huge, and we figured, everything we was going to remodel. My husband can build and do anything. He's amazing. So it wasn't our first house that we had redone. We jumped in with both feet, and, man, God just had a different plan for my life. I thought we were going to be having, church groups at my massive house, and instead, I lost every single thing I ever owned, including the clothes on my back and every piece of furniture, every antique thing that anybody gave me, we got rid of because we did go to the Cleveland Hospital. We've been to so many doctors, Richard, there's no words. And I remember Cleveland Hospital saying, you know what, throw out everything you got, start over. And it was like nothing to them. And they didn't know nothing. I'm going to tell you now, they have no clue. I suffered through this until I found you and your staff. And I just really want people to know, if they follow it, don't go eating that ice cream bar. Don't go get a piece of pizza. I'm telling you, there's no words for what I lived through. And, man, within that 7-8 days of me stopping that diet, I couldn't believe it. It was like, do I praise God? Did he heal me, or did he heal me because of the diet? And I'm like, okay, Lord, I'm praising both of you. It doesn't matter because, Jesus, you died for me, and I'm just thankful. So, Richard, I hope that God blesses you for the rest of your life.
Thank you. Well, I would like to say, as I said before, this is probably the only program in the entire world where you're going to hear people share success instead of misery stories with no place and no options to go. and I want to thank you so much for sharing that. It's what makes Robin and I and Sharon be here every week. I mean, I could not be doing this if people were not being successful. I couldn't operate a store and sell something that didn't work unless it really worked and made a difference in people's lives. And yes, I went through every bit of hell that you can imagine. That's explained in the book. I also appeal to everybody on the call that if you're in Facebook groups, you heard the value there. Post. Let people know that there is an option, that there are solutions, and that you found the solution. Maybe you haven't absolutely gotten your life back yet, but you're starting and you're hopeful, and you hear people share their success here, and share that there is a program that has worked with people. Maybe it hasn't yet totally made a complete difference in your life, but you're on a path that you never thought you'd be on before. And so thank you so much for taking the time to share your experience, Robin and Sharon and Sherry, and all of us are tremendously, we're just in awe. We're so happy for you. And we're so happy for the hundreds of others that have also made the path and gotten their lives back. Thank you so much. It's what made this program really stand out today. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else like to share before we close, or it's not just about asking questions. It's also about sharing your experience too, because we learn from each other. It's a think tank. We do learn. I mean, the lady may have not discovered the rictus being an issue unless she came here and she talked and she shared. She just may give up on the diet and it's not working. And like Robin said, because some product is listed in the book is okay, we can't control the fact that they may change the ingredients, and we don't really monitor that. Whether we don't check each product every week or month or year to see if the ingredients have changed. Okay. I want to thank
Hi,
you.
Richard.
Yes.
This is Josie Rothman, and I concur with the woman just spoke about, and I've been suffering for 13 years, and I just started 9 days ago, and I did fill out the questionnaire and sent it to you. I just bless you.
Well, thank you.
I bless you.
Have you noticed any difference? Have you started the diet?
No. It's not the diet. I mean, I'm eating all the right foods, but there's no way I can do the disinfecting right now. I have to wait until next month, and I have more money to get the ozone generator and all that.
No, the ozone. I don't really recommend the ozone generator. In fact,
Oh, really?
well, the ozone generator is very cumbersome. First of all,
Okay.
you've got to vacate the room for like 3 hours, and you only do one room at a time unless you have several ozone generators. You got to go out of the house. You got to put it on a timer. You turn it on for 30 minutes and off for 30 minutes. On for an hour, off for 30. On for an hour, off for 30. Then let the air room. And you still have to spray air ducts and things. You got to set it up so that the ozone goes into the air duct.
Can I interrupt for a second, Richard? I just want to say there are different ways to use ozone generators. I do my whole house at once. But the thing about ozone generators, it's not the only solution. And the great thing about Richard's book is that, for example, someone said, ammonia doesn't do anything. Depending on what you're dealing with, ammonia doesn't work for everyone. And there's levels of ways to up your game against your environment. And ozone's all the way down the list because there's other things that are easier that you can do first before you go to the ozone.
Oh, I was going to say
for me, ozone has been absolutely necessary. And I invested in enough ozone generators that I could do my house. I have 3 stories. I can do it in 2 days. I do half at a time. And I don't think I would have gotten clear without the ozone, but that's not true of everyone. So just know that, before you go the ozone route, I would try all the other choices. Then there's a lot of them.
Right. Spraying simple ammonia is what worked for me. It doesn't work for everybody, but it's worked for me. So you start with that, simply spraying. The next game would be to use the clean 'em up zymes. It's very economical. 1 ounce makes about like 16 ounces of spray, so you could use that. The finer the spray head, the spray bottle, the finer the spray head produces particles, the better. You don't want the spray coming out like liquid, thick spray. You want a fine spray. The next step up from that would be you see the magic is complete the questionnaire and figure out whether you're dealing with collembola or Morgellons, because if you're dealing with collembola, you want to remember that collembola jumps from your skin. You're a walking, talking, shedding machine. So like, for instance, if you're sitting at a dining room table, you don't spray just the top of the table or the top of the chair. You spray the bottom of the table and the bottom of the chair as well, and the legs of the chair and the floor area around, because that's where the collembola jump. And so you got to think in terms of, if I'm sitting here, you just sit someplace and look at where your legs and your body is, and realize that within 12 to 16 inches or so, there are collembola all around there. And it means under things and legs and things like that. So you need to think like them, see where they're going to jump. Same thing in the automobile. That's where they are. The toilet. You sit on the toilet. They're around the toilet. They like wet areas. They like sinks, drainage areas, anything that's wet. They like areas underneath the foot recess, under your kitchen cabinets and your bathroom cabinets. They like to be there. So in the bedroom, you got to check everything. You have to look at every place, and then that's where you spray. Now, the advantage of the electrostatic sprayer is you don't necessarily have to be as on point. You can just point under the table and spray. You don't have to get down and spray up like you would with a hand sprayer. You just point under, and the electrostatic spray will attract to the surface even though you haven't necessarily aimed at it. So that would be, in my opinion, that's the next step up, is to go to the electrostatic sprayer.
I was thinking about that, yeah. At first, before I was advised about the ozone.
See,
ozone. I had an ionizer.
Well, ionizers are great. They ionize the air, and they attract any smoke particles and things like that. Well, that's not going to do it. The ion generator is not going to do it. It has no effect on these organisms. It helps with, if you live in an environment where there's smoke and things like that, then that's good to use an ion generator. Ozone can be used there as well, but the ozone you can't breathe. Ions you can.
Okay. Oh, I'll keep researching it. Thank you so much. I just don't have the physical capacity to pull furniture from the wall and.
The furniture, yeah. Many people, like the lady before, shared that she had thrown out all of her furniture and stuff like that. That's what a lot of people do. They lose a lot of money, and you don't have to. If you figure out how to disinfect, you can disinfect the couch. You can figure it out. I have a recliner, and for about 3 or 4 years ago, I was reinfected, and every time I sat on that recliner, darn it, I would feel activity. And for 3 months, I could not sit on that recliner. And I would spray the recliner, I would spray the footrest, the top of the footrest, the bottom of the footrest, but I never thought to look at the ends of the footrest, where the tuft is, where the fabric is tufted in. That's where they were. That's the good news about the electrostatic sprayer. I wouldn't have had to figure that out. All I had to do was recline it and spray it, and the electrostatic sprayer would have gotten it. But because I just used a regular spray bottle, I had to figure out where they were in order to get to them.
Mm-hmm.
You see, if you using an electrostatic sprayer, if you spray a doorknob, say you're spraying a doorknob. With a regular spray, it's only going to make the front of the doorknob wet. All right? Now, if you turn on the electrostatic aspect of it, when you spray it, the spray will wrap around behind the doorknob and also make the back of the doorknob wet. So it's like magnets. It's like everything becomes magnetic when you use the electrostatic sprayer. Okay. And the particles are attracted. And they'll wrap around, they'll go places where you normally wouldn't. So that's why foggers don't work. Foggers and it's a big waste of money. It's like about $900 investment to do the fogger and the, what is that stuff they use? It does no good because fog doesn't wrap around. Fog, it just fogs. Okay, so thank you.
Thank you so much for your advice. Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. That's why we're here. We're here to answer questions for you to understand. When you read something in the book, you may not really get the electrostatic. Well, why does it work differently? And that's why we can understand it. Even though it may be explained in the book, it may not be in the terms. It may just not connect. So, anyone else? *6. We're still here. Okay, that concludes this portion of the program. Welcome back, everybody. This is Richard Kuhns, author of How to Get Your Life Back from Morgellons, Chronic Lyme, and Other Skin Parasites, welcoming you to our stress management portion of the program. As I said in our comments before we started recording, stress has been a topic that has come up a lot this week. And unless you're managing stress to some degree, it's going to make it pretty difficult. All right, consider this. You've got a job. You've been doing this for most of your life. You're very busy. You maybe a husband and wife team. You both got responsibilities. And you don't have a lot of time to do cooking, and you eat out a lot, and you've got a very busy schedule. And along comes Morgellons, and it doesn't give a crap what you got time for or not. It doesn't care whether you got time or not. It's an unwelcome visitor that's going to make your life miserable, not visible, miserable. And it doesn't care. It doesn't care. It doesn't care that you've got to take time to disinfect. It doesn't care that you've got to take time to clean your skin. It doesn't care that you've got to take time to make sure you're eating the right things. It doesn't care that you need to build health and immune functioning and use specific supplements. It doesn't care. But you don't have time for it. Not one bit of time. That's a lot of stress. It takes a big adjustment. It takes a huge adjustment. And in the meantime, you might be, like the lady shared before, sitting on a rail track hoping that the damn train is going to smash you into smithereens and they won't find any part of you. Because it can get that badly. Or bad. What's proper English? Get badly or bad? It can be miserable. So, anything that you can do to manage stress, because this is a hell of a lot of stress that has just bumped in your lap. And for the first year or so, you might not even know what the hell it is that you're dealing with. All you know is it's misery. You're throwing out furniture. It's miserable. And then when you finally figure it out what the hell it is, well, it doesn't really stress much. It helps to understand a little bit about what. Okay, I know now. I think I know what I got, but it doesn't. It's still going to take time and energy to get our life, and it's going to take thought. It's going to take creativity. It's going to take managing, organizing. It's going to take all of this to make it work. It's going to take time to read the book. And because you, like most of us, are suffering from brain fog, you read one page, what the hell do they say there? And have to read maybe 3 times before you get it. Fortunately, we also have it on audio, so if you go to Amazon, you can get the audio version that you can listen to as you're driving or other, that's a particular advantage. But you're going to want to make notes. You're going to want to ear it. Some pages, it's a new way of thinking. Totally new way of thinking. You never thought you'd have to go to this extreme to realize that these damn things can be under the table that you sit at, or under the bar that you sit at, your breakfast bar under it. You never thought of this, that something could be this way. It's going to take an adjustment. And everything you can do to manage stress, even though you were doing fine before, everything you can possibly do now is going to make a difference. Could be the total difference between you making the diet work and the program work, or washing ashore as an old piece of wood from some sunken ship. You like that analogy? I laugh. And as I said before, we are so fortunate on this program. We have people that share success, and we don't hear people talk about the broken pieces of wood washing ashore and no hope, because we have people with hope here. So there are many techniques. Robin is we are so fortunate and blessed to have Robin, a professional musician who last week shared some music, and she has. We're going to figure out a way of making her music available through our website or store. We're talking about that now. And she played the dulcimer last week and sang a song. She's so talented. This week she's going to do a tapping exercise. It's just a different kind of exercise. Unfortunately, all of you are not. You can't see us, but the video will be available for you to watch, and so you can see how she does it, and then go through the process with her and tapping. So tapping is a way of just stepping back. When you think you got so many things to do and you don't know which direction to go, and it's so confusing and your wheels are spinning and you don't get anything done right, but you have to go back and redo it again because you do. That's when you need to stop. Sit down and simply breathe and do something like tapping or deep breathing. When you feel that you can least afford the time to do something is when you need to do something, because once you do this, your battery kind of recharges, and you're more clarity, and you'll be more creative, and you'll be more effective at the things that you need to do to get your life back. And tapping is one of those things. So take it away, Robin. Show us how to tap.
Okay. So we're gonna use 2 fingers on each hand, but we're going to start with a gentle karate chop like on our arm, exactly like on our arm. And then we're going to take our 2 fingers and we're going to tap on the top of our head, on the forehead, side of our eyes, under our nose, our chin, and then we're going to rub just under our neck. And while we're doing that, I'm going to say things that we're going to think about while we're tapping. And in addition, before we start, I want you to pick one thing that you're very anxious about, and then give it a number 0 to 10, 0 being not anxious at all, 10 being as anxious as you could possibly be. What happens when you do these tapping exercises, by the end, the number should go down. And you can do it over and over with one thing until the number is more manageable, and then you can tap with a different thing that's giving you anxiety. And it's amazing that this actually works. It's very cool. So, I know there are skeptics out there, but give it a shot. What have you got to lose, right? The only thing you've got to lose is your anxiety. So, all right, I have one thing I'm thinking about. And the first thing is we're just going to gently tap on our arm, like a karate chop tap. And then we're going to take a nice deep breath and release it. We're going to tap on the top of our head with our 2 fingers, and we're going to say, this is such a hard situation, but I'm going to love myself in the midst of it. And then we're going to tap above our eyebrows. We're going to say, I don't know how I'll get through it, but no matter what happens, I'm going to take care of myself in the middle of this. On the side of our eyes, yes, this situation stinks, but no matter what, I'm going to be kind to myself. I'm going to take care of myself. Under our eyes, it's really hard, and I accept that it's really hard, but I'm going to work on loving myself in the middle of it. Under our nose, I'm going to take deep breaths, and I'm going to practice kindness first towards me before I even try for others. And then on our chin, I'm going to love myself no matter what happens, and I'm going to release kindness and love towards myself. And then we're going to gently rub just under our neck, which releases toxins. And then we're going to take a nice big drink of water, lemonade with stevia, cistus tea. Hydrating also releases toxins. And now look at that number that you had when we started. Mine went from 8 to 2.
Yay!
Yeah, I feel so much better. So, just saying, tapping actually works if you work it, just like everything in this program. And
yes,
there are lots of YouTube videos on different ways to do tapping. This way was taught to me by Claudia, who makes Claudia's Dream Cream. And she's amazing, and I love doing tapping when nothing else works. So,
thank you for giving credit to Claudia. I was going to do that. I should have done it many times in the past, but yes, and we're hoping to get Claudia on as a guest again sometime in the near future. So, one of the things you said, I'm going to love myself. I found over the years that many people don't love themselves. There's the physical part of us, there is the mental part of us, and then there's a spiritual part of us. Now, many people, the physical part is really a problem because they have this feeling that they don't measure up and don't look a certain way, and they don't love themselves physically. Their nose is too big, or their ears are too big, or they're too heavy, Yet everybody who looks at them sees
They're too
none of
skinny.
that. Yeah, they're too skinny, you know. And so it's important, really. And in fact, in my stress management website, destress.com, there is a CD about loving yourself, and it's like you just sit and you look at you just think of your toes. I love my toes. I love every inch of my toes. I love my foot. I mean, this might sound strange, but some people don't like their feet. They don't look right. You know, look at some of the societies like in China. You know, they have to fit. They fit them in these little shoes, and they never let their feet get grow or whatever. So they don't. Their feet don't fit their. And then the legs and their ankles don't fit their description of what they should look. So you want to. I love my feet. I love my ankles. I love the calves of my legs. I love my knees. I love my. Do it every part of your body. Connect with it and love it, and it will love you back. And then there's the oh, you're not smart enough. The intellect. Oh, you're too dumb. And these are programs we've gotten when we were kids. Like you're not good enough. And whether we got it from others or we came to our own conclusions about ourselves, those feelings continue. And you want to love you. You know, stop comparing yourself. I love myself. I love my intellect. And when you do that, you let your intellect, you let your feelings go, you know, and you stop being so protective and so hiding and you know, and spiritual. I love my spirit. I love the spiritual connection with the universe and so forth. In terms of my experience of God, it goes beyond some being. It goes to the essence of what keeps us going. It goes to the quirks. It goes to the little things that the laws of the universe. And the laws of the universe are about vibrations. Vibrations is what it's about. And we have opportunities to shift our vibrations. Some people do it through prayer. Some people do it through affirmations. And we have affirmation programs as well. In fact, on our YouTube channel, there is an affirmation program that is free for you. Listen to that affirmation. If you're down and depressed, there's an Up From Depression program. I guarantee you that program is the best program in the entire world that you will ever listen to. And guess what? It's free. Or you can go to my other website and pay $25 for it. But here it's free, free to you on YouTube. And I also have a program called Inner World of Tranquility that is also free to you. Listen to it. Now, that program, by the way, is not I didn't write it. It's the first program I ever listened to when I was about maybe 26 years of age. I was a chemical engineer and quiet and reserved and shy and you know, afraid of his own little skin. And I listened to that program, and it inspired me to start my own business. It inspired me to move beyond my limitations. And it can inspire you as well. Listen to that program. If you have a court case coming up or something, listen to that program. If you have a interview coming up, listen to that program. It'll put you on the right track. So we have I have so many fantastic resources for you, just waiting for you to tap in and use them. Tap. Get that point? Tap, 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 tap. Okay. That concludes this portion of the program. Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you. You are my family. See you next week. Love you.
Have a great week, everyone. Bye.